Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode. We got a review Spider-Man No Way Home, Far From Home, Homecoming, Home Alone 2,
Work from home.
Home Sweet Home Alone. I'm here with JohnnyDonuts 777. This will be spoiler
Hello.
free, sans spoilers. I forgot my Spider-Man
Hmm.
hat. Don't worry, we'll be back whenever we do it with Putty. But I did wear he punches people.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, so Spider-Man. So let's just talk about this movie. It just came out.
Because we literally just left the theater, what, an hour ago, right?
Yeah, maybe. I watched it way in advance. I'm really cool.
Yeah.
I saw it like 8 months ago. I just didn't
Right.
tell anybody.
Yeah, I found it was a really good movie. It had me riveted throughout the whole thing. Like, it was really well written.
Well, hold on,
I
Rivety.
find.
So just hold on for a
Yeah.
second, Rivety. So basically, what this movie's about, Spider-Man, he doesn't remember how to get home. So he has no way home. He doesn't drive.
He left a trail of breadcrumbs across New York City.
He
That's
basically
how he found.
he caught that was good. He creates a rip in the multiverse that allows the villains from Spider-Man's past to come to his world, and now he has to stop them. So that's spoiler free. That's from the trailer. So you said, yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it. I have to really look at where I'm going to place it before I get too frisky about saying things.
Yeah.
But
My only gripe was the runtime.
yeah,
it was a long movie.
A little bit long. And I said little really long because it's very long.
Close to 3 hours.
To be honest with you, it doesn't have enough material to stretch for the runtime. Like, it gets really dry in places where it's just dragging.
Yeah. There were a few scenes. But we'll talk about the scenes in the spoiler.
No spoilers. The epilogue of the movie just goes forever. It felt like the Marvel version of Lord of the Rings, where there was just ending and then ending.
You know what? Yeah, it was Return of the King. It was Spider-Man Return of the King.
And I was like, okay, you can end one more time, maybe? But yeah, solid movie, well written. It, like, I don't want to say anything. Marvel movies are usually good, but this is the first one in a while that has a real movie behind all the Marvel. There is a lot of depth to this. There's a real story here. It actually has stakes for the universe. It has stakes for Spider-Man. It has stakes for comic book movies in general.
Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, and I think that was really well played out.
Yeah, this is the true beginning of Phase 4, I think.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say this is the point. Like, everything that we got up to this point, Loki and WandaVision, was to explain for dum-dums what the multiverse is, and this is the first actual multiverse movie or media
in the MCU
coming from Marvel. Yeah, like, don't be fooled by saying, oh no, in Loki they didn't know. This is by far where like, this is real multiverse. This is not just explaining it 100 times.
Yeah.
It's really well done. Some of the acting is great. Willem Dafoe is fantastic.
Yes, he is the iconic Green Goblin. He portrays that duality, that sense of like the dual personality so well. Like, you can see when he switches from Norman Osborn to Green Goblin in his actions.
Yeah.
And just his facial expressions.
He really knew it. He said recently too that he told them if he was going to do this movie, he wanted to do all of the action on his own. He's like, there's no point in playing a character if you can't earn that character. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, because he's like pretty old. And
but you know what? Like, I can't see anybody else as the Green Goblin though. Like,
I mean, so as far as we could go with spoiler free, the villains I'm pretty sure we've seen all the villains in the trailer.
Yeah.
Electro, Jamie Foxx is, I wouldn't say he's very good. He's not bad.
He had a couple one-liners that were pretty funny, but
like, he's basically just playing Jamie Foxx from the Jamie Foxx show, but like a little bit angry. And then what else was there?
Octavius?
Alfred Molina was amazing.
Yeah.
He
really took that he took that essence from Spider-Man 2 and brought it over.
It's weird that those two Spider-Man villains, they Goblin and Doctor Octopus really understood their characters. They really
Yes.
understood it. And Sandman, Thomas Hayden Church. He's not bad once again, but like you could tell he's trying to replay the character rather than becoming it. He's like just trying to act exactly how he did in that movie and not like expand at all. And it's, if anyone's seen Spider-Man 3, it's super campy, and this movie did not require that campiness.
No.
Which is strange. Lizard is good. He didn't get much.
I was just about to say that Reese Efron, I think that's how you pronounce his name. I think the character of the lizard, I think was a little wasted in that film.
Yeah, he's kind of just here just to be the other guy.
Yeah, he seemed more of a comic relief than anything. Like he had like the comedy one-liners a lot, like which is not the lizard at all.
To me, what's happening now, without spoilers, this was like lightly giving us the Sinister Six, but it was like testing the waters, because if you obviously know it, like these are not characters from this universe, so the Sinister Six is going to have to be made up from people that are actually from the MCU. And so it was weird to get like real Sinister Six people that won't be in the Sinister Six. Does that make sense? Because like it's
it totally makes sense.
Like Vulture and Shocker, and
I think this was you're right. That's a good way to put it. This was an amalgamation of the multiverse and a Spider-Man Sinister Six film.
Yeah, and it's totally like you could see it. This was all about testing the waters. Sony,
but it worked though. It did. It really did work. Yeah.
There are 2 post-credit scenes. There's a mid-credit scene and an end-credit scene. So we're not going to tell you what it is, obviously, but just so you know, obviously stay in your seat.
Wait till the end, even if you have to go to the bathroom.
When you get to the middle of this movie, if you have to pee, go pee, because it's not going to end when you think it's going to end. I made that mistake about 4 times.
We both did.
Yeah. Also, do not order large drinks. But
yes.
I mean,
but the tacos were delicious.
Yeah, so were the wings. I mean, okay, so as a whole, I think this movie was well made. It's arguably one of the better Spider-Man movies, maybe the best. You'll know when we do our ranking Spider-Man, which is coming soon, so look out for that. Putty will be in that video as well. We're also going to do a full spoiler review with Putty. But yeah, so look out for that. Just like, it's well acted. Marissa Tomei is very good.
Yeah.
Very good. I didn't mind Jon Favreau in it, but he doesn't have much to work.
Another thing, wasted character.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say he's wasted, but in this movie, the character of Ned gains no added depth.
Yeah.
Where Zendaya's character is like pushed, like she does pretty well as well. Like
both of them are not bad. They're pushing her as the star. Like I mean, that girl deserves to be a star. And she was fantastic in this movie. They like pushed Ned back a bit to be like, he's just here, kind of. He's in the whole movie, but he has no, like, he doesn't gain anything. I mean, there were a couple scenes that I kind of chuckled at with him. But
it wasn't character
spoiler free. But
really.
It wasn't character. No, it didn't develop. Well, I mean, there's one slight character development there.
Yes, but
I'll leave that for the spoiler.
But that's more like that's like like people already know this. Like I'm not going to tell you what happens, but it's more like a story piece than a character piece.
True.
But yeah, so I don't want to go too much deeper into anything there. I've seen a lot of people online talk about how this is better than Endgame. It's not better than Endgame. I'm sorry. In my opinion, Endgame is still the best written Marvel movie that exists.
Yeah.
And Captain America Winter Soldier is the best.
I was going to say, yes, I was going to say Captain America, but I mean, this definitely sits in that top 3 nicely.
It's definitely in the top. I don't know where it is yet. I will have to go through it. I'll probably in the spoilers. By then I'll have thought about it more. So just if you had to give it, I don't want to like tag a number on this really, because I'm not ready to do that. But like, do you have any idea what you would rate it out of 10?
Out of 10? Well, you know what? Being Johnny Donuts, let's rate it out of 12 because, dozen donuts, right? So I would give it, like, if it's out of 12, I would probably give it a 10 out of 12. So I would say about
10 out of 12 donuts?
10 out of 12 donuts, yeah. Which is about an 8 out of 10.
Well, we've just established an entirely new rating system for him. He's a 10 out of 12 donuts.
10 out of 12 donuts. That was very good. Runtime took a donut away, and some of the story beats took a donut away. But other than that,
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'll give you a range more than anything. It's somewhere between like 8.25 and like an 8.5 out of 10. It's a well-made movie. It's one of the better actual movies that Marvel has made.
Yes.
There's a lot of characters and development and world building and setup, and I really like that.
The last three, quote, phase 4 films, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, they pale in comparison to Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. And it's even worse because Eternals doesn't really set up anything, and neither does Shang-Chi. It just kind of
They're there.
Sorry. It just kind of
Shang-Chi.
It's just like an introduction to the character, which it was good. That's the best one probably of those three. Black Widow was just an action movie. You could have called it Scarlett Johansson and Florence Pugh Take America, and you wouldn't have noticed the difference. So
featuring the Stranger Things guy.
Yeah, it didn't even matter that it was Marvel characters. That was just like you know what it felt like?
Movie.
It felt like one of those movies that was already written, and then they were like, "Oh, slap this name on it, and we'll make it that." Like Die Hard 2. That's what Die Hard 2 is. If nobody knows that, that's also what Home Alone 4 and 5, which I don't know if anyone's seen that. I just watched them all to rank them, but terrible experience. But both of those were just written as like home invasion movies and were repurposed as Home Alone.
Home Alone.
So, I mean, that happens a lot. And that's kind of like what Black Widow felt like.
Yeah. It felt like a spy movie that was
like someone had a spy script that was at Disney and they were like, oh, let's make this into a Black Widow movie.
Hey, here's an unused Bourne script. Let's use that.
It felt very Bourne.
Yeah. But you're right, though. Shang-Chi was the best one out of the three, if only that they brought back Abomination.
Well,
I mean, the seeds, you can see it if people have been keeping up with the shows and stuff like that. They are very much setting up a Dark Avengers versus a Young Avengers.
Yeah. But is Wong going to be on Dark Avengers?
I would think so.
Yeah. I think he's going to be the leader.
Yeah. Wong, Abomination.
Yeah, Red Hulk. Okay, anyways, that's where we're leaving this. We're not going to get any deeper into this. It's a good movie. It's worth a watch. It's best to see in theaters, 100%.
Yes, while you can.
In Canada, at least. I'm pretty sure the States are not going back into anything ever again. But, I mean, watch it. It's worth it. Thank you for watching this. Let us know what you thought of the movie in the comment section below. No spoilers. Thank you.
Keep it clean, guys.
Keep it clean.